Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Today on the show, we've got the next step in Nike's Kobe brand push, Drake debuting Devin Booker's signature shoe, Michael Jordan trolling one of his athletes, our sneaker pick of the week, and of course, we have our Hard Pass. All right, let's start the show with some hot takes. Vanessa Bryant. She's revealed the first 6 schools that will be part of the Mamba program. Along with previously announced Kentucky, they will include Duke, Oregon, USC, Connecticut, and LSU. As you might expect, this has caused some chatter as to why certain schools weren't selected and some were. HBCUs. All of the first wave Mamba schools have ties to the late Kobe Bryant or his family. Kentucky for Kobe's relationship with Coach John Calipari. Duke because that was Kobe's school of choice had he gone to college, breaking the heart of this North Carolina fan by way of how Michael Jordan made those baby blues look so damn cool. Oregon for Sabrina Ionescu and Nike's close ties. Daughter Natalia is currently attending USC. Connecticut because the late Gigi Bryant would have gone there, and LSU. Well, LSU is the one that people are questioning the most. It appears to stem from former Tigers football coach Les Miles gifting Kobe a custom jersey during his retirement season, and because Vanessa is a fan of the team, gifting the entire 2023 women's basketball squad, including star Angel Reese, with Kobe's 6 Grinches during their NCAA tournament run, and the Mamba the Sweet 16 Sixes earlier in the season. Very cool. And a good step towards turning the Kobe brand into something real and not just the John Donahue talking point. We ain't forgot about you, John Donahue. Don't worry. Make more protros, John Donahue. As for the lack of HBCU representation, it's understandable why there would be some frustration about that. With Jordan Brand starting to invest in HBCUs with the announcement of a 20-year partnership with Howard University and LeBron James sponsoring and openly supporting Florida A&M hoops, it would be nice to see another HBCU get the Mamba program treatment. This is not criticizing the choices because all of the 6 schools selected have a connection to Kobe and his family. So let's just wait and see if an HBCU is part of a second wave of Mamba program schools, because there should be a second wave of Mamba program schools, and an HBCU should be part of that. Dwayne Wade is in China to promote the Way of Wade brand, and during what looks like a showcase for the brand, Wade debuted some new kicks that prompted a lot of eyebrow raising. I mean, it appears to be foam-based with wavy grooves and an oversized shape. I'm not really sure what people could be comparing this to. I mean, I try not to read the comments unless it's on my own stuff, and even then I'm half a second away from logging off and touching grass. So if you all could tell me what these remind you of, leave them in the comments so I can not read them later. Thanks. Big Baller is back in the building, and it looks like Lavar Ball has teamed up with Kanye West.
And I'm gonna tell you what, these right here, coming soon. So you got to get the whole ensemble.
I mean, look at them. Unlike other foam-based footwear out there, which, by the way, Kanye invented if you listen to his stands, this is obviously the Big Baller Yeezy collab the world has been waiting for. I cannot wait to see the Big Baller Yeezy merch. Is it going to be sold in giant trash bags at Chino Hills volleyball tournaments? I just can't wait. Anyway, in other comeback news, Rhianna's Fenty line and Puma are back in business. The Puma Avanti will be the first sneaker to get Riri's magic touch, so expect that to cater to non-sneakerheads, move a lot of units, and generate a bunch of headlines about how influential Riri is and the truckloads of money the partnership has brought in. Now, if this were a different kind of show, I would bring up Beyonce's discontinued partnership with Adidas, or somehow throw Taylor Swift in there even though she has zero influence in the sneaker world, because why not? But we're not that kind of show. We're the type of show that wants all of these ladies to flourish without feeling the need to compare and contrast. Besides, that's what the Big Baller Yeezy foam runners are for. Joe Freshgood's latest New Balance project imagines a world where Michael Jordan made his iconic Jumpman pose in some New Balance kicks. And oh, wait, he actually did do that pose, or a close approximation of it, during a Life magazine photo shoot in some New Balance kicks. Limited to only 500 pairs, the Stuntman New Balance 650 is a brilliant bit of gamemanship by the brand, because it highlights a brief moment in time when they could say the future GOAT was wearing their product without having to name him directly. Makes me wonder why Adidas doesn't point out that the 3 stripes was Jordan's first love, and that it took his mom, Viola Davis, to convince him to sign with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck at Nike. Drake confirms those Nike Book 1 images from a few weeks ago were legit after debuting a special orange colorway during his tour. A special package that shouts his upcoming album For All the Dogs has now surfaced, so I guess it's on now. The chatter about these looking like Nike SBs will only get louder, to which I would say, well, they all start somewhere. Sabrina's look like Kobe's, Jaws looks like Kyrie's look like Hyperfuses, Kobe's look like Hirachis, Jordans look like Dunks and Air Forces, yada, 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 you get it. Pro tip for any Zoomer who wants to get on Fat Joe's bad side, tell him you're gonna get on his level in the sneaker world.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm running up on you with this shoe shit now. Nah, you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Props to Little Baby for calling his shot, I guess, but he could have at least appreciated the gift before proceeding to take it personally. I don't know, man. It reminds me of the legendary Michael Jordan, Gary Payton story when GP was talking all about all the Ferraris he's buying, and MJ just basically destroys Gary and says that he gets his for free. No matter how many sneakers Little Baby gets in his life, it can never compare to the late 90s and early 2000s era that Joe thrived in, buying and receiving exclusive sneakers that we still haven't seen yet to this day. Now, you're probably wondering, has Jacques Slade ever used that line on somebody who was getting on his nerves, bragging about all the shoes they got and that their collection was better than his? The answer is yeah, on Co-Rider. And that's why he quit. All right, for my pick of the week, it's the Nike ISPA Link Access. This is going to be on the 12th for $300. This is the latest from Nike's experimental line, which I love, and it's all about breaking modularity as each piece can be recycled and replaced. Like, imagine being able to replace an upper as it's wearing down, or the sole unit if it's on its last legs. The modularity of this shoe and zero glue allows you to pull the Link Access apart piece by piece. So if you have multiple pairs, you can mix and match them to achieve the look you want. Now, the $300 price tag does make this a tough sell, but hopefully the tech and the concept of these sneakers make their way to more affordable pairs down the line as we look for ways to extend the life of our favorite kicks. Shout out to Jazz Chisholm confirming that Michael Jordan really does not give a damn about the kids.
Jordan had a celebrity softball game in the Bahamas. I was 10 years old. Jordan sneaking out of the back. I asked him for an autograph. He looks at me. He turns around and says, "One day make me one of your autograph, kid," and just walks off. Like nothing else. Like he didn't even budge.
Anybody want to bet me that if Jazz were to come up to MJ now with the signed whatever baseball bat trading card, MJ would be like, "I still don't want that shit." But seriously, what does this mean for LeBron's legacy? Speaking of LeBron's legacy, Shannon Sharpe. This past week, his first appearance on First Take with Stephen A. Smith happened, and I gotta say, Unc looks so happy, man. He's like Dirk when he won in 2011, or J.R. Smith when he wouldn't put on a shirt, or Nikola Jokic when he's doing anything but playing basketball. And Stephen A., well, he always has a battery on his back when he's going up against somebody he feels is on his level or at least makes him break character. So I think this is going to be fun. So what's the real moral of the story, kids? Run as far from Skip Bayless as possible. Prosper and thrive. Repeat. Apologies to Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and Richard Sherman, who I'm sure were well compensated to take Shannon's place. So I posted last week about CM Punk possibly still being worth all the trouble after starting yet another backstage fight in London. By the time the episode went live, Punk was fired because Tony Khan was scared for his life. His words, not mine. Great timing, Tony. Thanks. Hey, if all those accusations about how bad it was for all of the non-wrestling personnel to witness that fight and that they felt genuinely threatened, then yeah, Punk deserves to be let go. But this is pro wrestling. And if WWE, soon to be owned by Endeavor, senses a big payday can be had by bringing in Punk with every possible behavioral clause in his contract, it's gonna happen. Also, you think Punk can pull that shit in WWE if dudes 3 times his size and have actual MMA experience like Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley are backstage? Nah. Punk will be on his best behavior in WWE, which I predict will happen as soon as he gets out of any legal entanglements he has to deal with at AEW. Unfortunately, the Hard Pass crew has not been able to get that deep into Starfield as of this recording. We were, however, able to steal that dope armor that's at the basement of the lodge. Yeah, so all you have to do is find the armor that's displayed behind a glass case, go into first person mode and move the camera so that it's lined up to the gap on the case, and it should allow you to take the armor. Of course, we all felt really smart pulling that off until we saw that it was a big deal online and everybody knew about it. It's like the old days when you were the first to discover the warp pipes in Super Mario Bros. Or pulled off a fatality in Mortal Kombat by just jamming on the buttons randomly. Hopefully that's not the only discovery you make in the games this week, and there's a way to unlock more Mamba challenges in NBA 2K24, because there can't be 7, right? I think about that sorry. All right. It's time for this week's Hard Pass. We'll take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go. We're going to go with a few Hard Passes this week, so let's start with Crunchyroll. Yeah, you heard me. Crunchyroll, the anime streaming service. This week, they dropped what I thought was the trailer for Attack on Titan Final Season, the Final Chapter Special 2. You know, the final finale of what has to be the most stretched out last season of any show in any medium in history. But no, it was just a trailer for the dubbed version of Attack on Titan Final Season, the Final Chapters Special 1. Yo, Crunchyroll. I understand that technically this has nothing to do with you and you're just like us waiting for Maruyama Animation Produced Project Association, aka MAPPA, to finish. But man, you did not have to play us like that, especially when I'm a subs over dubs kind of nerd. Okay. Next up, we've got Vans Vault and their latest premium edition of their iconic skate shoes. F***ed up Vans. No, seriously. These Vans are f***ed up beyond all recognition. And that's the point. I saw this on a post by Sneaker Freaker this week, and I was just blown away by how seriously beat up these sneakers are. On the one hand, it's kind of cool that Vans is highlighting just how durable their product is and how skaters will take them to the ends of the earth and do whatever it takes to keep them wearable. On the other hand, they are wild for selling these. Look at them. They are co-opting the horrifyingly annoying trend of distressed sneakers and taking them to their logical conclusion. Shoes that are so wrecked that they need duct tape to keep them from falling apart, and selling them at a premium price. I mean, take a look at this slip-on. It's got scuff marks all over, the collar is trashed, the leather looks worn out, the duct tape is... Wait, these slip-ons have full leather construction? It's not just the familiar canvas that makes slip-ons the coolest basic sneakers out there? Well, yeah, because it's Vans Vault joint, that means this is actually a premium version of the slip-ons. Don't even get me started on the half cabs that are use a faux Croc skin finish. These are perfectly fine, high quality Vans skate shoes that are being ruined before you get a chance to do the job yourself. And that just sucks. Look, I understand what's going on here. Vans is just the latest brand to jump on that pre-worn bandwagon. Golden Goose, who is currently being sued by New Balance for copying their 990 line, but has confusingly also released a pre-distressed 991, popularized this trend of beating up perfectly fine shoes. Hey, everybody needs a gimmick, I get it, but the fact that it became so popular that brands that we like started to emulate them and customizers decided their whole shtick was making Dior Jordans look like they've been worn a few times and been in a battle of somewhere, that sits wrong with me. Like, it's wild to me that a kid can customize a pair of retros to make them look like they're from 1985 and get clout, but if that same kid wore those same retros to the point where they look like they were from 1985, it will be nonstop jokes about how the kid is wearing them wrong because it's got creases. What do you think happens when you wear your shoes? It's funny the first few times you wear them out, trying to keep them as clean and crease-free as possible, but eventually you kind of just give in and wear them like they're beaters, because all shoes should become beaters after a while. Maybe I'm not giving Vans enough credit here. Maybe this is their subversive way of saying this whole trend is dumb and that our reaction to this should be, well, that's stupid. Why would I buy those beat up Vans for premium prices when I can do the same with the regular ass Vans myself at a lower cost? At least that's I hope what the reaction is. My guess is that someone is going to look at this and think, oh my God, these Vans are so cool. I'm totally going to buy like all of them and go to the skate park and put it on TikTok like I'm that birdie guy in the video games. I just hate everything. Okay, that's a lie. I don't hate everything. I just give them a hard pass, like to the people who are doubting the sincerity of my love for the latest Crocs collab. Maybe you've seen my TikTok or reel or whatever else I posted this, professing my 100% real reaction to seeing this epic collaboration between Crocs and DreamWorks, the animation studio behind Shrek. First of all, no, I wasn't kidding when I said this was the sneaker collab of the year. I might be stretching the word sneaker because obviously Crocs are not sneakers, but Crocs have embraced everything about sneaker culture, from people lining up to their stores to limited edition drops to hype collabs like this one with Shrek. I mean, what's not to like about these Crocs? If you're looking for storytelling, this has you covered. I mean, the Shrek franchise has multiple movie entries, short films, a Broadway musical, television specials, theme park rides, multiple spin-offs, video games, blah, 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 so on and so on. It doesn't get much more storytelling than that, now does it? Maybe you're a detail-oriented person and you want to see how well the icon that is Shrek translates to a pair of Crocs. The upper is a perfect recreation of Shrek's skin tone, blemishes and all. It's got his ears and his nose for gibbets. The strap is lined in fleece like his vest, and the logo replaces the Crocs, Croc. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm on Amazon right now looking at bootleg gibbets to see if any of them have the eyes that perfectly match up with Shrek's. Why? So I don't have to imagine Shrek looking at me when I look at my feet. I can just make it happen. Now, I understand your hesitation for this collab. I do. I honestly do. You're a Disney adult and you feel threatened that a non-Disney character is going to take the shine away from your precious House of Mouse. You might think that's a silly thought, but then I saw how you all lined up for the release of the Lightning McQueen Crocs a few weeks ago.
And she's pulling off the hangers because she said the store policy was just not. They did the same shit to us last year.
Checking ID. Expensive.
Thank you.
Paying strangers to get more pairs.
I mean, the entitlement that some of you have? Like, who cares that you can't take the hangers with you? And then to go right back outside and pay people to buy pairs for you just so you can boost Disney's numbers? For shame, Disney adults, for shame. Shrek fans will not resort to such tactics. They will line up like reasonable people, patiently wait for the store to open so they can pick up their pair, and then wear them out like real fans. Because who doesn't want to be reminded of such an iconic character every time they step out? I predict that this release will be the biggest drop of the year, bigger than any Jordan Retro, Cactus Jack drop, Yeezy restock, you name it. Shrek is topping it, man. Apologies to Chuck Taylor, but Shrek is the real all-star of the sneaker world. And you know what I mean. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade, and I meant everything I said in that last segment. I'll see you next week. But before that, I just do want to do some shameless plugs here at the end because, you know, I do other things that I hope you'll check out as well. First, we have a couple of posts on my Instagram where I take a tour of some very interesting sneaker closets. No, it's not the typical celebrity sneaker closet that has the greatest sneakers of the past 12 months. We've got people who have influenced the culture and lived the culture. And don't forget to check out the main channel over at Cousteau. We've moved the heat check over there where we list off all of the week's releases. And we're dropping new features every week, like our thoughts on what the Kobe brand should be. And finally, I've been working with the PGA Tour to produce a show called Voices, where we put a spotlight on stories and people that chances are you probably haven't seen or heard a lot about. We just dropped our latest episode and it featured Louis Chitangwa, a promising golfer in the early 90s who once defeated a young Tiger Woods. Check it out on the PGA Tour's YouTube channel. But yeah, if you'd like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message, your socials if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, we'll see you next week. Peace.